Greetings, fellow Whovians. Hope you have a good week so far. Well, let's continue to look at the 5th Doctor era with Warriors of the Deep. The human world is divided into two opposing superpower blocks. One of the blocks have created a secret underwater base, Seabase 4, which is strategically positioned and has nuclear weapons aimed at the opposing block. Well, that's not good. As a security measure, the Seabase nuclear weapons cannot be activated unless a trained human operator can sync their mind with a computer and authorize their deployment. The base's crew is led by Commander Vorshek and his senior officers, Nilsson, Bullock, Security Chief Preston, and Lieutenant Michaels, the base's sync operator. Lieutenant Michaels is mysteriously killed before the start of the story, and as a result, his inexperienced apprentice, Ensign Maddox, is forced to assume Michaels' official responsibilities. The story begins on the bridge of Seabase 4. Vorshek and Bullock noticed something strange on the long-range sensors, but dismiss it as being a trivial glitch. In reality, the glitch is a Silurian battlecruiser led by Ichthar, the sole survivor of the Silurian Triad, and his subordinates, Tarbok and Sisyphus, who are monitoring Seabase 4. Inside the TARDIS, Turlough has changed his mind about going home, and the 5th Doctor plans to show Tegan something of Earth's future. As the TARDIS materializes in space, it is attacked by Sentinel-6, a robot weapons system. In a blink of an eye, the Doctor manages to save the TARDIS by materializing onto Seabase 4. Phew! Seabase 4 undergoes a practice missile run, but Maddox, the temporary sync operator, is uncertain of his skill at the job. When Maddox faints after the practice run, Vorshek begins to realize that the function of the base will continue to be compromised until either Maddox lives up to his duties or a replacement is assigned. Nilsson and the base's chief medical officer, Dr. Solo, who are enemy agents for the opposing bloc, plan to program Maddox to destroy the computer circuitry. To do this, they ask Vorshek to release Maddox's duplicate program disk under the pretext of helping the sync operator cope with his job. Vorshek does so, and Maddox is programmed to the base's psychosurgery unit. The Doctor's presence on the Seabase is detected when Turlough summons a lift. The Doctor programs the base's reactor to overload in an attempt to avoid capture. This fails, however, and the time travelers are all taken prisoner. Preston also finds the TARDIS. The Silurians revive the Sea Devil warriors of Elite Group 1 and their brilliant commanders, Salvix. The Silurians and the Sea Devils launch an attack on the base, and the Doctor, recognizing their ship on the monitor screen, tries to warn Vorshek not to fire on them. Vorshek ignores him, as per usual, and, as a result, the base's defenses are neutralized by the Silurians' deflection beam. The Silurians then dispatch the Micra, a large marine monster, who attacks Airlock 1, and the Sea Devils who assault Airlock 5 of the Seabase. During the attacks, Solo and Nilsson activate Maddox, who tampers with the equipment. When Ensign Karita becomes suspicious, Nilsson makes Maddox kill her. That's not good. The Merca forces its way into the base, temporarily trapping the Doctor and Tegan until Turlough gets the inner airlock door open to save them. Whew! The creature starts making its way towards the bridge, killing people by electrocution. Dr. Solo becomes one of the Merca's victims on her way to an escape pod when she foolishly tries to engage the creature in physical combat. The Doctor eventually destroys the Merca by using an ultraviolet light generator. Yay, I guess. The Silurians prime a device called the Manipulator and prepare to arrive on the base. The Sea Devils break through Airlock 5 and start the push for the bridge, killing any crew that stand in their way. Solo's accomplice, Nilsson, is revealed as a traitor, and he attempts to escape by taking Tegan hostage. The Doctor blinds him with the ultraviolet device, and a group of Sea Devils appear and kill him. The Doctor and Tegan are taken as prisoners to the bridge, which is now under the control of the Silurians. Dun dun dun. The Doctor recognizes Ichthar, how, and confronts him about the massacre of the crew of Seabase 4. Ichthar reveals his group intends to get mankind to destroy itself by triggering a global war. They undo the damage caused by Maddox's sabotage and connect the manipulator to the systems. The Doctor escapes from the bridge and tries to find something to use against the reptiles. He discovers some cylinders of hexachromite gas, which is lethal to all reptile life. A sea devil discovers the Doctor's presence and attempts to shoot him. He misses the Doctor and hits one of the gas containers, which sprays all over the warrior. As a result, the warrior begins to dissolve. Ugh. Preston urges the Doctor to use the gas on all the Silurians and Sea Devils. The Doctor adamantly refuses and accuses Preston of advocating genocide. The Doctor changes his mind when Turlough reminds him of what the Silurians intend to do if they launch the missiles. When he is unable to find anything else lethal, he begins to connect the gas containers to a central air pump. The Doctor is discovered by Suavix before he can turn the pump on. Preston grabs the gun, but is killed by Suavix before he's sprayed by gas and killed by Bullock. As the Silurians prepare to fire the missiles, the Doctor feeds the gas into the ventilation system. Bullock stays in the chemical store to ensure the gas keeps flowing, but the Doctor and his companions leave for the bridge to try to stop the Silurians. The warriors begin to collapse from the gas, and the Doctor tells Tegan and Turlough to give the Silurians oxygen to keep them alive. The Doctor, who was aided by Vorshak, tries to stop the missiles by linking himself into the equipment as the sync operator. The Doctor succeeds, but Vorshak is killed by Ichthar. Then Ichthar himself is killed by Turlough, and it is all over. The Doctor, his companions, and Bullock are the only survivors. The Doctor's left in despair, and he simply says, "There should have been another way." Yes, I definitely agree with you, Doc. Anyway, let's look at some production elements here. Early in the production of the story, Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher announced a parliamentary election. This created a sudden demand for BBC studio space, and as a result, the production schedule for the story unexpectedly lost 2 weeks. Production was completed, but many signs of pre-production are evident. Many scenes had little or no rehearsal, and many scenes received only one take. Perhaps the biggest problem came with the Murka costume. It was completed only an hour or so before it was scheduled to be used, so that the 2 puppeteers inside could not be fitted and had no time to rehearse in it. The costume smelled strongly of paint and adhesive, which one puppeteer said made him feel like he was sniffing glue. The paint on the costume had not dried by the time filming started, and tended to rub off on the sets and their costumes, and can be spotted in several scenes. Many in the cast and production crew have expressed a sense of disappointment with the quality of the finished show. The DVD commentary by visual effects designer Matt Irving, script editor Eric Sayward, Peter Davison, and Janet Fielding contain many criticisms of Pennant Roberts' direction of the story and John Nathan Turner's production of the program, as well as comments on the special effects. Sets and other production problems. The Murkas specifically caused a great deal of amusement. The scene with the Murka in episode 3 were also later used by former BBC One controller Michael Grade during his appearance on Room 101 as an example of why he found Doctor Who pathetic and took it off the air. Scriptwriter Johnny Byrne was unhappy with numerous alterations and edits that Eric Sayward made to his script, notably the deaths of the human characters of Preston and Commander Vorshak, who were originally intended to survive. However, in an interview for the DVD's extra features, Byrne said that he thought the basic story was quite solid and effective. The story was Byrne's final televised Doctor Who story. Byrne later submitted a pitch entitled The Guardians of Prophecy, which was a sequel to The Keeper of Traken, featuring the Sixth Doctor battling an evil immortal with an army of Melkers who were threatening the remainder of the Traken Union. However, Byrne did not develop this submission any further. The Guardians of Prophecy was later recreated as part of the Big Finish series of Lost Stories. Warriors of the Deep was shot on 1-inch Type-C videotape, the first Doctor Who story to do so. Type-C videotape replaced 2-inch quadruplex videotape on Doctor Who and many other shows. It was during production of this story that Peter Davison and Janet Fielding announced their departures from the series. Producer John Nathan Turner had offered Davison a fourth season in his role, but, reportedly advised by Patrick Troughton, Davison chose to limit his time on the role to 3 seasons to avoid typecasting, the unwritten Troughton rule. Stuntman Gareth Mine, who later played George Cranley in Black Orchid, doubled for Peter Davison when the Doctor fell in the tank at the climax of Episode 1. Ingrid Pitt, who played Dr. Slow, had previously played Queen Galia in The Time Monster alongside John Pertwee. Nice. So overall, this is a pretty kind of episode, but hey, seeing the Silurians and Sea Devils again is actually kind of a plus. So overall, I give Warriors of the Deep 3 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. Well, join me next week as we take a look at The Awakening. Ooh. So until then, this is Hoovy and Queen saying, "Oh my Gideons! When I say run, run!" Averse polarity of the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly baby? Fantastic. Allons-y! Geronimo! Bow ties are cool, fezzes are cool, and Stetsons are cool.